Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another 1/12 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we're taking a look at not one, but two 12th scale figures by Threezero. Now you may be sitting there thinking, Justin, doesn't Threezero make those big chunky die-cast Transformers figures? And yes, you're absolutely right, that is their bread and butter. But for some reason they've decided to throw their hat in the ring when it comes to 12 scale figures now as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what they've brought to the table here. We are taking a look at Sarah Connor and the T800 from Terminator Dark Fate. I know, not the best Terminator movie out there, but I'm still pretty excited to take a look at the figures themselves. Now if you would like to pick them up, I'm pretty sure they are currently in stock at the time of filming this video with toyswonderland.com. Link for that is of course down in the description below, and they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. What we are going to do now though is get the boxes laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. And here of course we have the box art for both figures. I do like that they've alternated the sides in which they've pictured the figures there, so if you did want to have this on display, it creates for a pretty darn awesome wraparound look. We do of course have the T800, aka Carl, off to the right, and Sarah Connor on the left. I'm pretty sure, and correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is the only official merch from Terminator Dark Fate. You can also see the villain, the baddie if you will, the Rev 9 on the back here. I kind of wish they'd also made him to go along with these two figures. Now we may as well start off with Sarah Connor. We do have an image of the figure right up here on the front of the box, but let's get her out here. I am cautiously optimistic when it comes to Threezero's 1/12 scale figures. They have impressed me with their Transformers figures, so for now at least, they've earned the benefit of the doubt. And here we have Sarah Connor herself. First, in-hand impressions, yeah, she feels like a fairly sturdy piece. Not sure how I feel about these exposed joints though. More on that in just a second. Now you can see she does come with one tray of accessories, and I'm pretty sure Carl is going to be the same exact thing. So let's get him out here as well. He does come with a little instruction warranty sheet, so do make sure you are reading that just to be aware of all the bits and pieces that you can use and move on these figures. And here we have the T800. I have to say, out of the two that I've just unboxed, I'm a little bit more excited for Arnie here. Pretty darn impressed with that head sculpt, at least so far. Now, he also comes with one tray, so what we are going to do now is get all of their accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything they come with. And here we have all the bits and pieces that come with Sarah Connor on the right and the T800 on the left. Now we may as well start off by taking a look at the T800's weaponry first. Now he does come with this big rifle. It's got a grenade launcher up the front here, and even at this teeny tiny scale, we still have a removable magazine with bullet detail. It is painted quite nicely. It's got a silver dry brush over the top, dirt and grime in all the crevices. It doesn't have any other moving parts, but trust me, at this scale, that's a blessing, not a curse. He also comes with a shotgun. It's also got weathering over the top, and it looks fantastic. Now, technically, you could parts or accessories swap between the two if you wanted to give your Sarah Connor some of these weapons, or give the T800 some of Sarah Connor's accessories. You can totally do that. It's perfectly fine, and yes, they are interchangeable. Now, he does come with an array of hands. Unfortunately, there isn't much in the way of skin texture or detail. You can also see a lot of flashing from the mold on the top of the hands there. They come across a little bit cheap and rubbery, but then again, at this scale, I think they work perfectly fine. Now, as for Sarah Connor, she comes with a mini shotgun. It also has the silver dry brushing over the top. She also comes with 2 different pistols. You'll have to help me out with the name of these pistols down in the comments below, but my preference definitely goes to this one right here. It kind of gives me Blade Runner vibes. I really like the way it looks. And yes, they are painted nicely as well. Unfortunately, no removable magazine on the pistols, but that's probably for the best, because it would be absolutely tiny. Speaking of absolutely tiny, she also comes with these. I'm pretty sure these are smoke grenades. There's a little silver strip on the outside, but the majority of them are green. I do apologize, these are really darn tiny. She also comes with an array of hands. There is also no paint to speak of on them whatsoever. They are a rubbery style plastic, and they do look suitably plasticky. The interesting thing though is look at the size difference here. I'm pretty sure something is off with the scale. There is no way Linda Hamilton's hands are that much smaller than Arnie's. That just looks kind of ridiculous. She also comes with a pair of sunglasses to, of course, complete her iconic look as a total badass. Don't worry, I will pop these on the figure in just a second. What we are gonna do now, though, is get the figures themselves out here and take a closer look. And here we have them standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses, but Sarah is wearing pretty much all of her accessories just because it does complete the look. Now I do have a favourite, a clear winner if you will, out of the 2. If I was just to go ahead and pick up one of the 2 figures, it'd be the T800. It's the superior figure. The body is better, the head sculpt is better, the paint applications are better, and even the outfit I think is superior. It's not 100% flawless though, and we'll discuss that in just a second, but overall I do still think it's the superior release. Sarah Connor isn't all that bad. The head sculpt with the glasses on looks fairly decent, but there is one key flaw which lets the entire thing down, at least for me personally. What we are going to do now though is take them off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have him up close and personal. Now just like we looked at them back to back a second ago, we'll do the same thing now that we're zoomed in. But starting off with Arnie first, I'm actually quite impressed with the sculpt. I didn't think I was going to be. Based off the initial promo pics, it didn't look all that impressive. But now, seeing it in hand, yeah, I see Arnie through and through. Plus, the paint applications are really nice as well. There's a good level of skin texture and detail. There's a little cut on his cheek. The hair looks fantastic. Overall, yeah, I'm very impressed. Now as for the outfit, with this being the first time that they've tried to make anything in this scale, as far as I'm aware of, they've done a pretty darn decent job. The outfit does suffer from that baggy style look that we sometimes get, especially with Mezco figures, but I'm pretty sure that's just due to the nature of the fabric they've chosen for the jacket. It's a little bit thick. However, it is sewn quite nicely. The stitching is all very clean, the buttons are in the right places. It's also quite nicely weathered. You can see wear and tear, giving it that aged sort of look. The shirt underneath is a stretchy style material, so that means it should get out of the way of posing. Now you may be thinking, well, can't I just remove the jacket? You can, but his underbody, including his arms, will look like this. They're a really cheap and nasty high gloss plastic, so I'd advise just leaving Arnie's jacket on there. As for his pants, they are just a straight up normal pair of blue jeans. There's a little bit of weathering over the top, and I do like the way they hug the legs. They're not too overly baggy. It's just the jacket which looks a little bit bulky, but in my opinion, it doesn't really throw off the look of the entire thing. He also has some work boots down below with a little bit of sand and dirt and grime in the soles and around the edges. Now bringing in Sarah Connor, I don't think she is the best out of the 2. I'll have to give that to Arnie, but she's not terrible. I did misspeak in the intro when I said that these were the only officially licensed Dark Fate figures. NECA also did Terminator Dark Fate figures, but I do think these ones edge the NECA figures out ever so slightly. Now you can see I do have her wearing her glasses, but if you remove them, there is of course a fully painted face underneath. I'm not entirely sure that that is Linda Hamilton, but it's someone, and it's fairly nicely painted. It's just the sculpt which isn't 100% perfect. The hair though looks fantastic, it's got a nice wash throughout, and the detail on the skin tone looks great. On the face, but for some reason for the body, they decided not to carry it over, so it doesn't really match. And then we have the eyesores that are the arms. We've seen Fison do seamless bodies at this scale, why couldn't Threezero do seamless arms for Sarah Connor here? Or just not make her, because yeah, they are super obvious and they kind of look a little bit nasty. The only pose that I found to hide them is to have her hands up here holding onto the straps of her jacket, but even then they poke out down below. I understand it's mainly for articulation, but if you're going for real fabric to give us a realistic look, then I don't think this kind of stuff will fly, at least for me personally. As for the outfit, it's fairly basic. A flak jacket up on top with the pistol and of course the grenades holstered in their various slots, and you do have a grey pair of cargo pants down below with a little bit of weathering over the top. She's also wearing Doc Martens style boots with a little bit of a chalky effect around the edges. Unfortunately, no detail on the soles. Now I'm curious, out of these two figures, which one do you personally prefer? I do think they work better as a set, but I'm still quite perplexed as to why Threezero decided to make these. It's a weird choice, especially in 1/12 scale. Nevertheless, the figures themselves, so far if you forgive a couple of the weirdnesses, are fairly decent. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, I really didn't know who to compare these guys to, so I thought I may as well go with a Marvel Legends figure. This is of course the Marvel Legends Shang-Chi, and as you can see, to Arnie's head, they sit about the same height. I don't think that's entirely accurate. I don't think Simu Liu is the same height as Arnie, but nevertheless, if you did want to have them at the exact same height on the shelf, then here you go. It will work quite nicely scaling alongside your Marvel Legends figures. Sarah Connor is a little bit shorter, as she should be, and yes, once again, it does work. I personally wouldn't have minded if Arnie was just a little bit bigger, but I'm pretty sure they were going for true 1/12 scale, whereas stuff like Marvel Legends just go a little bit on the bigger side. Nevertheless, if you really wanted to do it, yeah, it could work. Just going over articulation on the T800. Now bear in mind this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I'm willing to go. Now starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a fixed neck, however, it still does get a fairly decent range of motion in pretty much all directions. The arms themselves will go up the full way, same thing going forward, although you will have to futz around with the jacket. There is a butterfly joint at the shoulder and a swivel at the upper bicep. There is a double bend at the elbow and a ball joint sort of swivel style joint at the wrist, almost exactly like a 1/6 scale style wrist peg, just shrunk down. Now as for the body, we do have a crunch at the upper ab and a crunch at the waist as well. So combined, we do get a fairly decent range of motion, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs themselves will go forward to about there, they will go out to about there, swivel at the upper thigh, a double bend at the knee, and of course a ball joint down here at the ankle. Now moving on to Sarah Connor. Her articulation setup is slightly different. She is also on a fixed neck, but this time it's at the body. It's actually a rubbery style neck, which is quite interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that in 1/12 scale, but yes, it affords you all the usual range of motion. The arms themselves will go up pretty much unhindered, same thing going forward and back. There is a butterfly joint at the shoulder, a swivel at the upper bicep, a double bend at the elbow, which of course is visible, and that same style joint that Arnie had down here at the wrist. As for the torso, this sort of bulletproof vest style piece is a little bit more restricted, but you can still get crunch, swivel, and pivot side to side. The legs themselves will go forward a full 90, and same thing going out. Swivel at the upper thigh, a double bend at the knee, plus a ball joint down here for the ankle. Just wrapping up on the Threezero 1/12 scale T800 and Sarah Connor. Now I already alluded to this throughout the course of the video, but the T800 for me is the clear winner. I like the head sculpt better, I like the outfit better, and I like the accessories better. He's just the superior figure, no two ways about it. The Sarah Connor figure, mind you, isn't horrible. I like her accessories too, but the head sculpt leaves a little bit to be desired. Plus the really ugly joints on the arms and also the rubbery unpainted neck. It's a little bit of an eyesore and not really what I'd expect from Threezero quality. But at the end of the day, they are still fully cloth outfitted versions of Sarah and the T800 from Terminator Dark Fate. And they are kind of your only options if this is something you're looking for based on that particular film. The NECA versions are great, but they are bigger and they aren't wearing fabric outfits. So, in my opinion, if I was going for merch from this film, yeah, I'd be picking up these two releases, and hoping that Threezero eventually give us a 1/12 scale version of the Rev 9. Now if you are looking to pick these up, I'm pretty sure they are still available from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is of course down in the description below, and they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. Also, while you are down there, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.